So what we're looking at here is the Uncharted 3 multiplayer beta that was released before the game came out. Now, normally, if you try to use this, if you press start, it would try to log you into PSN and it would fail to connect to the multiplayer servers. But this version has been modified in a way that it acts like a normal game. So if I press start, it goes to the main menu. Now, the main menu, as you can see, is completely different from the final game. And if you look under continue, it says East End Boys. Now, that is the original name for the first chapter. So if I continue it, now I had to do a bunch of modification to this and mixing and matching the Finals games files with this beta version, so I'd be able to load into single player. Now it's really damn buggy, but we will load in and have a look. And so the first chapter loads, and you can see it goes chapter 0, East End Boys, compared to in the final game, Another Round. Now the chapter numbers I feel have been like messed up completely, but at least it's cool to see that beta chapter name come up when you start the game. So I wanted to check out all the other chapter names. So what I do here is set completed difficulty, and that should unlock the chapters selection, and we can have a look. So 1, East End Boys. This one doesn't really have a name. Columbia Movie Call Flashback Intro. Second, story work with story written differently. Runderground, London Underground, The Chateau, Spiders, Syria, Seriously, The Arabian Peninsula, A Hole in the Ground, As Above So Below, Steeplechase, Abducted, The Ship Graveyard Again, which I guess would be Dry Docks, which was a removed chapter, Sink or Swim, Airport Security, Drake's on a Plane, which is fun fact, the train level in Uncharted 2 was originally going to be called Drake's on a Train. So they tried that joke twice and never went through with it. The Ruba Kale, The Settlement, Horse Chase Movie Oasis, and that's 19, and it ends right there. So yeah, this menu hasn't been completely filled out, but there is more chapter names in the data. So this is another part of the story I could get to work, and we're going to have a look at the most interesting feature cut from the final game, their bonuses menu. Now we got a single player store that has skins, weapons, render modes, bonus movies, art, gallery tweaks, but since I can't complete the game, I can't unlock them, so Here Is Me's giving me a poke, and now we have all the options. Now the single player skins, they're all left over from Uncharted 2, so none of them work, you just turn invisible, but in fact, most of the bonus menu is just Uncharted 2. In fact, so if we go to the GAL 19, it's actually the pack, and it's still got the old sound effects for the GAL. And even if we go to the M4, it's actually this other gun, and it's got the old sound effects that it had in the multiplayer beta. Also, interestingly, the AK-47 has different sound effects. So yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. And if we go into tweaks, we can see slow motion works. But strangely, things like Mirror World do not work. It just flips straight back as soon as you exit the menu. So yeah, interesting that they left that out, and that actually really hurt the game in my eyes. And another thing, if we go into the debug menu, we can actually give ourselves the GAL 19. Now this was completely left out of the final version of Uncharted 3, and in this beta it's actually fully usable. Another interesting thing about the beta is before you get into the chateau, there is actually a combat area listed. Now, in the final game, there is no such combat listed in the task menu. So in the final game, they apparently just took out a whole bunch of combat. And again, I think that really hurt the game. Another interesting thing is when we're playing as young Drake, we can actually go into the bonuses menu and then give him a weapon. And that works out as well as you'd expect. So yeah, he was not meant to hold this. Now let's take a look at the leftover multiplayer content. Now if we go to custom game and then map, we can see a whole bunch of odd maps here. Now we've got Dry Docks. Now that was cut from the game and released way later as a free map. And we've got Dandy Sandy City, which appears to be a very work in progress version of a map. And we've got London Underground, which is just block meshes, and then we got Syria, which is mostly block meshes, Desert Village, which is the same image, and then Ship Graveyard, which is just the temple from Uncharted 2. But that's not all. If we go to game type and change it to adventure, we can see that we've got Dig A, Airport, which is both the temple, and then we got the fort and monastery. Now, monastery was in the final game, but the fort was released way later as DLC. So originally they were going to have the fort in the final game, but they decided to sell it to us later. But yeah, we've got London Underground and Syria. Yeah, so early co-op adventure. Now I can't play any of those glitchy maps, otherwise the game will just crash. But yeah, so that was an Uncharted 3 beta analysis comparison, and thanks to Here Is Me and Kempy for it was a group effort to get this all to work. So hopefully you enjoyed that video, and hopefully there's more beta goodness in the future. Bye.